Hello everyone and welcome to this video. Now today I'm going to be explaining my new scoring system, what I use to determine a score for albums during my reviews. So many people have commented on how my scoring system works, asking how I determine what's an 8 and what's a 9 and what's a 10 and all sorts like that. And to be honest with you, before this video, I didn't actually have a system in place. It was generally just what I felt like by the end of the review, which wasn't a very reliable system, because on the run up to doing an album review, you'd be listening more often to an album, so you'd either be really into it, or you'd be sick of it. So that would certainly influence what score I was giving it. Many people were saying that it lacked integrity, and I think John Heaton pointed out that I gave the same score out of 10 to Jeff Lynne's new album as I gave to Paul Simon's Ego's Rhyme Simon. And in those album reviews, I gave quite different reviews. I was very positive for Paul Simon, but for Jeff Lynne's ELO, I had a couple more negative points in that one. But at the end, I still gave them the same score out of 10. I could understand why people might be thinking, well surely they're not the same score then. So that's why I have devised this new system. So basically, it involves scoring each song on the album out of 10. And I thought of maybe complicating it up a bit, giving separate scores for stuff like the music and the lyrics and production and other stuff like that. I decided that would get a bit too complicated, a bit too messy. So I could just be giving each song a mark out of 10. Now some people would say that that's maybe a bad thing to do, because you should really be looking at an album as an overall package. But for me, in order to appreciate a whole album, it has to be full of great, fantastic songs. So that's why I'd be scoring the songs individually. Generally, the way that will work is I could give a 10 to a song what I can't go wrong with. It is almost perfect. It doesn't have to be a masterpiece of a song or anything like that. It can be a very simple song, but it just has to be a song where I can listen to at any point in time and really enjoy. 8s and 9s will be for songs that are still really great, but I've maybe just got a couple of wee niggles with them. Maybe the lyrics are a little bit weak, or or the production might be a bit sloppy, or something like that. Well, maybe just hampers my overall enjoyment of the song. 6s and 7s will be for good songs, certainly not highlights from an album. Maybe what I was used to call filler material on it, but there'd still be good songs, but certainly not among my favourites. And then anything lower than a 5 would be from average, so, not good, not bad, to poor, and then awful, really. Right, so now then the component scores for each song will then be used to determine the album's total score as a percentage. So I've got so I've got a sample here, I've got 5 scores here. Say this is Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. So we've got a 10, a 7, a 9, a 10, and then an 8. Okay, so those are the scores for each of the different songs. It does get a little bit nerdy here, so just be warned here. So those are our component scores. So this would give a score of 44 out of 50, because there are 5 songs, each song out of 10. So if each song that was a 10 out of 10, then it would be 50 out of 50. Of course, all albums don't have 5 songs, so if I was reviewing something like The Beatles' Please Please Me, or or most things by The Beatles, it would be out of 114, because there are 14 songs with each of score out of 10. But to get this as a consistent system, we find it as a percentage, which involves dividing 44 by 50 and then timesing through by 100. Now for this example here for Wish You Were Here, it would get a score of 88%. That's the way that I would score all of my future album reviews. So I was thinking of deleting some of my older reviews. I already have done that with some of them, But like over time though, like I think like I will maybe like redo them, but I won't try like urgently get like all of like my old ones out, because I've done like quite a fair few like album reviews. So like just like 1 or 2 like older ones, but I'll still do new ones of course as well. So I think like the first one I'll try with like this new system will be Ram by Paul McCartney, and like, and of course like any suggestions what like you guys like to leave, I'd be more than happy to do one of them. Hope you have enjoyed this video. Please like it, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.